No, we're good enough to go. Yeah. And Bo will, obviously, you guys know Bo will not be in tonight, so that puts Clegg in. He'll just slide right in with Yokohara.
Do you expect Bo back at all, or will he be gone
We
for the
do.
weekend?
We do. He's going to meet us in Florida.
Alex Sokka's like towards the top of the league in takeaways, and we see him strip pucks all the time. What about his game allows him to be in that position?
I mean, he gets around the ice. He's quick. He has tremendous reach, ability, agility, mobility, I should say, and determination. He's very determined in that area. He covers a lot of ice, and his switch from reading plays from offense to defense enables him to do that, combined with that athleticism and talent he has. He recognized as his experience, his maturity, he recognizes the importance of that time when the play goes from offense to defense, and he gets on his horse quick, and that's a big reason. He's very committed to that, the response on change of possession or change of offense to defense, and when you combine it with that skill that he has in range, it's no wonder he's among the best in the league at that.
Don, how much of an appeal to professional pride are these three games, especially this one being the last one at home?
Yeah, I would like to say that every day is an appeal to professional pride. I mean, you lace up the skates and you play in these buildings, and you're playing what you love. So it's no different for me. It's the situation and circumstances always change in life, but how you go about it should never ever change. And our guys should be here because they love the game, and they also should understand the obligation they have and privilege they have, and I think they do.
Perhaps it was too early after the game in Dallas, but what level of disappointment is there over not being in the playoffs and knowing that this thing is still hanging over this franchise's head?
Well, any loss is a major disappointment. I can assure you of that. So, to me, it's all the same. Every loss is a disappointment. You're hit really hard. As a coach, as management, as an organization, as players. So, I don't know how to separate it. I mean, when you're people in these, I think everybody could think of themselves as a competitor. When you're not successful, and that is every single, day you don't win. So I don't know how it's any different. It's the same exact feeling when you lose and you're not successful. It drives you. It drives you crazy, and it drives you.
This situation is different though, Don. I mean, these guys don't have anything to do with the drought, but it's 13 years, and it's something that's going to fall them in the next season. So what can anybody do to try to alleviate them of that burden, because it's not going to be productive for that, although the noise around that isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, there is no question that the context around it is obvious, is unique in every situation, which makes it different. That around, but on the inside of getting, the objectives within a game and the game of hockey and the sport and everything else, those are all the same, and it's dealing with those, and and it's progressing. That's where your success is going to be. Obviously, winning the hockey game, outscoring the opponent, your attention's got to go there, and those are the areas when you don't win, you have to make sure your focus is there. Your focus isn't on, and you're not swayed another way. And I don't think we are or were. If we are and were, yes, moments, but not driving. It's not certainly outside influence and pressure and challenge of that or negative consequence. To me, every team, every athlete has to deal with that. You have to learn to deal with that. It's the ups and downs in careers, but I don't see that as a contributing issue to where we're at. We needed to be better at certain things for more wins, and those are the things we look at. Those are the things we feel, this group has to grow into and continue to become better at, and the focus has to stay right there.
Don, I ask this question with all due respect. there have been questions about your job security. The Buffalo News has come out a month ago and said, Brett, you should be fired. What are your thoughts about that entering this last week of the season?
You know, I guess I'll tell you personally, when I was here as the interim coach, I took it upon myself saying, I don't know if I'm going to be the next coach, but coach the right way. Coach the way that I just talked about to Lance. You know, you're in these positions. You have to stay very focused on what you do every day. So when you bring that up, I don't know if I don't recall your question specifically, but for me, I have to do my job every day. And it's to help this team and this franchise get better every day. That's my focus every day. That's my drive every day. So I don't know, any other way to do things. When I first got in this position, even as the interim, I wasn't trying to become the next head coach. There's a job that needs to be done. My focus is on that. It has to be on that. So I don't know if I answer your question or not on that, but I can tell you how I operate, and that's how I operate. So, that's not even that's just how it is, John.
Has that gotten harder for you at all, given the pressure and the expectations of the season? Kind of the same thing, the players.
Expectations I look at as a privilege. The expectations come because we moved this thing to a point where expectations have risen. I'm happy for that. Why would I've been in this situation where this is all natural. This is all something we have to go through to get to the next level. Is this. You perform to a certain level, you raise expectations. So for me, I'm happy we're here. This is great. That means we did some really good work. Look at where we were 2 years ago. This is the territory. And we have to, it comes down to winning more hockey games.
Don, for the fans that are sitting at home right now with tickets for tonight's final home game and kind of debating, do I go or do I not go? They're not playing for anything now. And what do you say to fans like that are just kind of holding off and figuring out they should attend tonight?
Well, I mean, anytime you mention fans, for me, I have an appreciation for people that follow this sport. People in the room here, everybody in this room follows this sport. It's a great sport. Obviously, I've been privileged enough to play it, to be around it, and we all love it because it's hockey and it's not something else. It's hockey, and for us and our players, that's the message to our players. Like, this is a game. You're gonna when in the off season you miss this stuff, and you should play with that passion, that love for the game, that energy. And I know our guys will. They will. They're hockey players. They want to play. They want to play hard, and they will. I believe they will do that. So.
Don, the Jeff Sauer International Deaf Hockey Series is in town this weekend. I just wanted to get your perspective on what do you think it means to have an event honoring him here in Buffalo.
Yeah, Jeff Sauer was a great mentor to many, and obviously I played for him, and he was for me. Just not only in coaching but in life, one of the all-time great college Division I coaches. Won numerous national championships. I was fortunate to be a part of one with him. And then he gave a lot back after his retirement to hockey for the deaf. And so for that to be here is obviously special for me, knowing, having the privilege to have known Jeff Sauer as well as I did for years.
What's the key to having that balance? I think Tage said after the Dallas game that tuning out the noise is important to try to get everybody together, but the difference between doing that but also embracing the challenge of what we're trying to accomplish here, what's the best way for this group to kind of do both of those things?
Well, you again immerse in the moment for the right reason, for the it's obviously a focus issue. I don't think it was. We talked about it at points in the season. I don't think that how you framed it, noise. Did you say?
Tuning out
Yeah.
the outside
Yeah.
expectations, noise, all that stuff.
I don't see that was any negative, in essence. to our guys a challenge to win in this league. And I think that's, I think the guys know that every day. I think it's part of the territory. There's not a team in the league that doesn't go through that. This is not unique to Buffalo. The challenge of if you say there's outside influence or noise, I think that's every player, every athlete. Just go listen to every press conference today around sports. Somewhere in there, it's going to be about that. If you're looking at the team that wasn't successful, but it's really just getting and staying on your game plan. If I'm thinking games we lost. There's little things in the game we could have done, just decisions within the game, minor. And those are the dominant things as I'm trying to answer that question. It's the little hockey things that I don't think we didn't get a puck deep at the end of a shift and we make a pass in the neutral zone, it's a turnover and it's back in our net. I don't think that has anything to do with expectations. That's why it's challenging for me to answer that question. I don't see a correlation of it. When thinking of a game we lost recently, we just didn't put the puck behind the guy, and it ended up in our net. A choice we made, a poor decision at that point. But I don't think it was affected by that.
What has Rasmus shown you over this last month as the team has changed a bit? And, there's been, I guess, more pressure on him, so to speak. What has he shown you?
Yeah, he just that he's himself, that he's the leader and the competitive athlete, and obviously more experienced every day. So he's, he continues to improve, but he's stepped up vocally. He's been more vocal. Communication, when I say vocal, not louder, but more communication on the bench, in the locker room in between periods. He's had to take on a little bit more responsibility in that regard. I think he's done great, and to me, it's even helped his play. I think he looks even more confident. So, still carries frustration because he's a competitor, and that's always a balancing act with any guy that has the fire that he has. The best players, athletes in the world hate to lose, and that's probably why they got to become the best athletes in the world. They didn't accept anything less, and he's one of them. So, you always have to battle with Ras frustration because he wants it so bad. So.
It's been your process for trying to lead your staff at this time. You mentioned your process for blocking everything out and, focusing on the day, but they're kind of wrapped up in the uncertainty of the end of the season as well and the future. How do you just kind of try to keep them?
Yeah, I don't think you have to keep them. Again, they're engaged and passionate about what they do. They know it's a privilege, as we all do, to be doing something that we have such passion for. So, the talk back there every day is about how we make what we can do to help each guy become better and this group be better every day, and win a hockey game. And those are the same conversations that are very natural and easy. I don't think they're distracted, thinking too far ahead. They've stayed in the moment and see no difference at this point with that. Thanks, guys.